back in Chicallywood. Like, how connected to your projects are you? I know they like your babies,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I love it. I would love to be a part of it, but it was like, that would be a decision you would have to make. Like, all right, I would just hand you on my project, you would give me a big check, I just go away, or can I have some kind of ownership or percentage on the back end? It'd be something I would want something to not necessarily I have to be 100% on it, but I would have to be connected some way. That would be
Yeah.
ideally.
because I think I heard something about Sylvester Stallone where he had a script for Rocky. I think he
He
wrote it or
sold the
something.
rights, got them back. It's real confusing. Like him and his producer, and they've been going back and forth for like 40 years, as long as Rocky been out.
Yeah.
But initially he sold it, then he bought it back. I don't know. That's why he wasn't attached to Creed, because he didn't like the story. But he didn't have any say so. He couldn't do anything about it.
So at the end of the day, it seems like you still love the independent aspect of being able to say, because I mean, you kind of like a well-oiled machine. You like, yo, I get to do it when I want to. I pump out as many as I can, cast, whatever the case may be. So you pretty much your hands on. So it's kind of pretty much like you're connected to your baby.
It's like I'm connected, but it's like I have to do what's best. I'm not finna go say, hey, go fuck yourself, stars. I'm doing it by myself. I have to do, at the same time, I have to protect my brand, but at the same time, like, I want to get to another level. So if this is a step I have to take, then sometimes you have to take a step back. Sometimes you got to take a job where it's a pay cut because you're just going to whoop somebody's ass at your old job. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing theater?
I've thought when I did Not Another Black Movie, somebody was like, this would be a great play.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Somebody, and it's like, I haven't had the time to sit down with somebody and like, how do you format a script for a play? Because I have no clue how to do it. I can probably Google it or something, but I just haven't had the chance to do it. But it's like, I've thought about it because like I've seen a lot of plays. Like, it's a lot of a good theater out there. I'm trying to fuck up somebody's name, but I've noticed Richard Gallions.
Shout out to Richard Gallions.
Yeah, he invited me to a few, and I couldn't make it because every time he invited me to a play, we film it, because it's usually in the spring, and in Chicago, you only got a certain amount of days to shoot outside. And so, but it's been a few times I bought tickets and just like supported them, but I want to, that'd be a good thing to do. I've never done it before.
Yeah. So that's kind of like something that you might want to put in your bag.
Yeah, it'll be in a
your
bag
list
at
of
some
like,
point.
yeah, man. I guess my next question is, so what's next?
Right now we are getting stuff. Omar's editing. I hope so. Right now.
Shout out to Omar.
Yeah, shout out to Omar Moore. Season 2 of Creative Hustle. Horrific. Season 1, getting ready to get those ready for streaming and distribution. And we got to the Bernie Mac Lifetime Achievement Award, the second year for that.
Yeah.
We're trying to, in the pre-planning of that.
My next question is, how do you go about pretty much like when you're doing your projects, how do you go about far as like when you're going to release them? Like, is it like you have a whole plan you got to put in play first, or you just like, no? So some people like, no, I just want to put it out there.
No, we got to plan it around it that makes sense. We can't pick random. And that goes from learning from experience. Like, don't release nothing Memorial Day weekend. Like, certain weekend, or the opening day for the Bears, never release nothing there. We just learn. The great things we did, we released Not Another Black Movie on Black Friday, and it did great. I was nervous that people be tired, but it worked out. But it's just, you gotta plan. I'm like, release horror movies in October. It's just like, that's the best time to do it.
And that leads into my question, like, far as somebody that's watching this and they're about to do their first event, like, have you had a situation where it was like, man, not too many people showed up, or like it didn't go expected?
It's just like, especially living here, it's just dealing with weather, and you got to navigate around that. The summertime, people want to be outside. They don't want to be in a movie theater or watch the movie. And so it's like, you gotta find that sweet spot. Like between August, November, you might be safe from bad weather, and then now it's like March. Even in March, it's like it gets snow. So it's like you have to just figure out where your sweet spot is, and it's knowing your audience, who comes to your stuff, who likes your movies. Will they come regardless of the weather?
So what it sounds like, what you're saying too, is that find your tribe. Find people that really rock with you, because literally it doesn't matter what's going on. Because I've seen this happen where I've literally seen snowstorms happen, but because the individual has such a nice following, people put their snow boots on. They, you know what I'm saying, put their snow all weather tires on their car, and they was still there. Yeah. So that's right. So it does boil down to really putting yourself in a situation to where people just rock with you no matter what. Because people gonna show up to a Beyonce concert regardless if it's 1,000 degrees outside.
And let's be honest, people, families, there's a lot of people that support indie filmmakers and artists. Yeah. But then there's some that's like, man, this nigga text me one more time about this goddamn premiere. I'm gonna buy a ticket, but I don't want to go. That was my next question. How do you deal with? Because it's like, we gotta promote. You know what I'm saying? But how do you walk that fine line of not being annoying, but I'm trying to support? Yeah. How do you give advice to somebody that's in that predicament right now? So everybody not gonna come here. This is at the end of the day, this is your dream. They ain't asked for this shit. They ain't asked to be a part of it. They ain't asked to pay for your dream. And so you have to understand that, they might not come out at first. It took a long time. I have family members that didn't come out until like a few years ago. Yeah. And that's just what it is. It's just like you have to show them like, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. You support me, but don't let that discourage you. Don't be sitting at home 10 years from now. I'm like, man, I would have did something if my family would have came to see me. That's how you sound stupid. It's just like it helps. Like I haven't had that problem. My family supports me, but you can't let that deter you from doing what you want to do. Yeah. Figure out better ways to market. Market to people who don't know you. Because at the end of the day, if your project is streaming somewhere, everybody who don't know you is going to watch it. Yeah. So that can't be a deterrent.
Yeah, and on top of that, you got to develop a little bit more thick skin in this business, because we got people that's super famous putting in millions of dollars. I didn't even go see the Snow White movie. They put millions of money into that. So you think she upset at me because I didn't show up to that? Right. But regardless of the fact, so if you're watching this, please make sure that you just develop that thick skin to understand that this business, people may not support you at first, and I don't mean they hating or don't like you. Life be lifing.
And then, you've heard it before. Oh, man, when your next event? You ain't showed up to the last spot. Fuck you, what are we talking about here?
Oh, man.
That's the question to be killing. Like, what? Why? So you can not come?
Yeah, in Chicago, and I'm pretty sure it happens elsewhere, but this is one of them cities where, you'll get somebody's number and be like, yo, we gonna chop it up. 2 years later. Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, what's up? We gonna chop it up. 1 year later. And I get it because we all be in our own circles and stuff like that. But the reason for this platform too is, like I said, I wanted people to see I didn't know this about Jay Davis. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? He's a dope family man too. And, his perspective is relatable, you know what I'm saying? Or, hey, I was going through that and that's the same vision that I have. You know what I'm saying? So I guess my next question is school important? Do you think somebody needs to go to, because, everybody's like, oh, you got to go to acting school. Do you feel?
Educating yourself on what you want to do is important. Yeah. Don't go to college just to go to college and take gym classes and shit like that. You have to, go to a trade school. If you want to learn a trade, learn that trade. But if you want to learn how to direct, go to film school. But just do what is important to you and what matters to you.
Yeah, and what do you think cannot be taught? What's something that's got to probably, from your perspective, that's a God-given talent?
Creativity.
Yeah.
Because, you see a lot of stuff on TV and you're like, that's like a corporate decision to put that out. This is not good.
Hey, we just seen that with this Snow White thing. I hate to keep harping on it, but, you know.
Man, that flopped bad.
It was horrible as far as the amount of money they lost.
Yeah.
But it's Disney. It is what it is. They'll bounce back. They'll be able to write that off.
That's rich people problem. Y'all figure it out.
Yeah. So the next project you got coming out, what's that?
Next project we're trying to decide. It's a feature. We have a feature film idea. We might work on. We're gonna continue to expand on Horrific, the anthology. Yeah. Or season 3 of Creative Hustle. So it's a lot of things. We're just right now we're in post mode and figuring out what's the next step. But we're and the current thing is we're figuring out what person we're gonna give the Bernie Mac Lifetime Achievement Award to. So we gotta figure that. Shout out to Damon Williams. He was the first recipient of the award.
Is it a criteria that if somebody wanted to kind of?
It's basically what have you contributed to the world, the comedy in Chicago, being a Chicago comedian? What have you Have you given back? Have you helped out other comedians? Are you good at what you do? You know, stuff like that.
Facts.
So we have a few people in mind we're going to reach out to. We're talking with the Bernie Mac Foundation, who gave us permission to create the award. And so we collaborate with them and Damon, the year's previous recipient, to see who deserves it or who should be recognized.
So you know what comes with that? Like when somebody see this, like, why he ain't pick me? Why he ain't reach out to me?
You're not funny. And, you know, God has other plans for you. Maybe Coke. I don't know. But people need to take rejection, I don't know, a lot better. Like,
I think this is a city that, because you got to realize too, and what I've learned, like, man, Chicago people just ain't going. They getting their feelings heavy because this is a tough city as it is. So then it's like, man, you know, now here it is. I'm basically trying to do this little thing. Oh, you hating.
Yeah.
But it don't be that. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things where, like you said, you got to understand how rejection works to be able to say, oh, okay, that's what I need to do to fix up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure, like you said, when you got like your first rejection situation, you probably looked at it and analyzed and said, okay, how can I be better?
Me and Diesel, we went on it was Amazon. We looked at Amazon reviews for Not Another Black Movie, and we actually made a video reading the bad reviews.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
And they were funny to me.
Was it one in particular that stood out?
One said, "Why is the mom from Fresh Prince?"
I'm just acting Chicallywood.